Welcome back, Secret House against Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture conversations. Today, me and Jet,
What up?
we're here to discuss the Midi Neutron album. Ikeru, is that it, right?
Ikeru, yeah.
9 songs, 27 minutes, came out at the beginning of this month, March 1st. Yeah. Shout out to the people that support us and the people that we support, and all of our listeners, follow, subscribers, bell notification people in the Discord, and those people on the screen right now. You guys see the names, links in the bio. Go support them, as well as Midi Neutron. His link for the Bandcamp is also in the bio. That's the primary goal of our show, to highlight the incredible and diverse talent that emerges in the underground, independent, avant-garde, experimental, abstract, all the types of hip-hop things.
You already know.
Yeah, except for we don't really do mainstream too much. Otherwise, we might have had a Schoolboy Q review for you. But who needs that? Q. Not on our channel. Anyways, but yeah, that's a good album too, though. But yeah, today we're here to discuss Midi Neutron. I don't have any notes about Midi Neutron. I actually was going to ask you to mic this, and then I forgot all about it.
Yeah, sorry. I also wasn't really checking my messages like that over the last week. Like, it's been rough.
I did not message you about it. But do you know
Midi
where he's
Neutron
from?
is Rikitaro Suzuki. I believe he must be a half black, half Japanese artist.
Blackanese. Shout out.
Blackanese, homie, based in New York and occasionally out here in Tokyo.
He be out here?
I had a couple mutuals with him. Like he knows Austin Pete, who's an MC, and he's fucking dope. And Tadashi Betty, who does like a lot of work with out in New York. He's part of the Eringi crew with Midi Neutron, and he's the host of like the Alpha Music podcast label thing. Alpha, like legendary label, released all kinds of iconic hip hop. He also, at his release party, he had Big Yuki, who's like very closely affiliated with Sweet Soul Records, who are friends of mine. They also work with like the likes of Nao Yoshioka and your boy producer. He did the
Ghost Pops?
No.
Aaron.
American producer did
DJ
the Pink Sifu. The Be Kool-Aid.
Devin Morrison.
Ah,
shout out to Devin.
Also affiliated with Sweet Soul Records.
Friend of the show.
Big
yeah,
Yuki.
That's a homie.
And also Air was at the party as well.
shout out to Air.
Who are also fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, a lot of dope people in that circle.
Okay.
And then on top of that, we got like some features, which we'll get into.
Sure.
But when we first review a new artist that we haven't spoken about before, we like to
let you know how we're
let you know how we're familiar.
Yeah.
So this is my first time listening to Midi Neutron, but coincidentally, maybe about a month and a half ago, when the lead single of this record, Shining Armor, dropped, he was posting up Instagram ads for the product. For the project. And we're familiar with Nakama predominantly through King Vision Ultra Shook World, which we talked about in our previous review of the Dunce Cap, so check that out. And I was like, oh shit, it's Nakama. Like, I love this dude. This guy's fucking ill. And
somebody
then
on
beats
the
were
Rap
great
Music Plug podcast Discord, when I mentioned how dope he was, they were like, Nakama is next. And I don't disagree. He's
very
fucking
much up
ill.
next.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Midi Neutron. We came across there was like a short rollout with like 3 or 4 songs that came out last month under the Shining Armor title, and we were going to do that, but you were like, actually the full length's coming out later. Let's do a whole listen.
Yeah.
And so I think that I got put onto this because I follow Nakama on my DSP, and they do the weekly releases. Yeah. And I saw his name, I was like, let's get it. And worthwhile. In fact, incredible and amazing listen, and I was quite impressed. I love what they are doing here. Let's get right into the album, okay. Yeah, this album for me, I just felt like it was a tremendous listen. The production is so lush and vibrant. It feels like some real new land, like new space. It's similar to shit that I really loved and enjoyed in like the mid-aughts, about the beat scene that was kind of emerging and growing out of the IDM scene and and pre-lo-fi, like Teebs and Flylo,
absolutely,
and
the
Monopoly,
Brain Feeder, like
Gold
Warp
Panda,
Record shit,
exactly.
like the UK wonky shit that was coming out around the same time. Rusty, Hudson, Mohawk. all those cats, you know, and they were coming together as well. Shouts out Kutma, Jeremiah J, like all these cats who are like really fucking ill. And there's also some really cool live instrumentation on here as well.
That's what I think kind of reinvigorates the approach and kind of adds an interesting twist on it. The phenomenal live instrumentation and the vocal contributions, right?
Yes.
Like a lot of these beats don't feel like they would work with an MC, as though they'd play more as towards like a jazz audience or like a kind of like head nod type of audience, but they find ways to create like a really dope, interesting, evolving palette throughout the entire album for artists like Nakama to absolutely fucking style on. And I just, you know, there have long since been like one of my favorite like groups that released an album last year. They are a electronic jazz ensemble, and this is kind of the tradition that me and my brother Sot were trying to get towards when we were younger. We're not formally trained musicians, but our shit, Tibetan Death Quartet, was live improv, sample bass, electronic music, and this just, to me, it really speaks to me in a way that I almost want to be like, yo, like, to a jazz head, I'm like, you want to hear some dope jazz shit?
There's a lot. I mean, there is a lot of jazz musicians on here. Kotheism are like a duo, I believe, based in Europe, I think.
I think some of the titles I wasn't familiar with them, like Connor Duke and Owen Zorn. I imagine those were
they're players on the record.
Players on the record, right?
I believe the drummer and bassist respectively.
Seb Zell is also a musician.
I'm not sure if Owen Zorn is related to John Zorn, which would make a lot of sense if so, because like, you know, some real jazzy shit.
I don't know about like Wesley Park or Alfredo Colon or Zonky. A lot of these people were new names to me. I just knew of Nakama.
Yeah,
actually. And Yo is also an MC, but also some like a vocalist of some sort. Yeah. So yeah, it really is like a music. I don't have fucking. It's a music album. No, it's like it's a really dope. It's a really dope, twisting and varied vibe. It's not all that long, but man, it is just like every minute of it is absolutely like flourishing and exploding and brilliant and evolving, and so many little different parts and incorporations are occurring. I'm not one to. I'm not very versed on music theory, and I can count like a DJ, but I'm not like listening to the kind of like syncopation and the way that they're arranging these things. But you can tell that the production that's also going on in the background right now is something that has been refined, and this is not like a person who picked up a fucking machine or an MPC a year ago. Like these are kind of like these are actual musicians in every degree. Even Nakama, who to me, you know, I'm a big fan of his work, but every single track on this album, the production's different, and he styles absolutely differently on every single track, and it really brings it into out of the realm of like straight up brain feedery right back into situating it as primarily a hip-hop endeavor. Like, and that's, you know, not that Fly Low wasn't, you know, doing that, or you know, Gold Panda or any of these type of cats, but goddamn, like, it's fucking fire.
And just his ability to like always sound like himself while also evoking like countless other great MCs. Sometimes he sounds like Bus Driver, sometimes he sounds like ODB, sometimes he sounds like no one, but at the same time it's always like at his core it's so recognizably him. Like the only thing Nakama needs to do to like stick the landing to just be one of my favorite MCs period is I need the album. I need the full-length solo album. He's so fucking nice, bro. Like he's one of the new MC stylers that remind me of like jazz drumming. Like his patterns, vocal intonation, his flow, there's like polyrhythm aspect to it, like a ghost note almost aspect to it, and these offbeat little accents. He kind of reminds me of like a Cavalier or a Breeze, who their flow is, it sounds so precise and metered, but it also subverts your expectation of what's going to rhyme next or how he's going to rhyme it. He puts little twists and dibbles on all these type of things. Sometimes it reminds me of like Doc from like Earth Gang,
And I'm not making the comparison to say he's doing what they're doing. I'm just saying like there's a variety. When you tell me Bus Driver,
styles, yeah.
when you tell me Bus Driver, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of jazz man syncopation to the beat where he's giving you like actual words to connect with you and understand what he's getting at, but he's also giving you a kind of like a musical instrument aspect with his voice too that is just so fire to me. Like he's next. He's fucking next. I love that.
This album's also just like a real treat for me based on my tastes. Like, you know, when we get around to reviewing these kind of like very like electronic but also jazzy high level musicianship but also kind of weird and free form type records, whether that's the Occam's Blazer that we reviewed right at the beginning of the show,
the Mary Sue,
the
Psychedelic
Live,
Ensemble,
the One Al Kebulan that we just reviewed like last week. I really get into my bag with this kind of stuff, and this album gets so lush with the production as well. Like, you know, when we get to like Where We've Been, How Far We've Come, all of those movements there. I mean, we're listening to How Far We've Come right now, and like this could be bonobo like levels of, you know, like lush rainforest type sound or Nature Boy Flacco, Amon Tobin, yeah, so many fucking ill people.
Is it Amon? I've never heard anybody say it. I've always said Amon, but
maybe
Amon Tobin, like it could be. It's reminiscent of like early Machine Drum,
Machine Drum, Jimmy Edgar.
Yeah, early Boards of Canada at times, but it's wholly different too. It really is a fun sonic kind of journey, and I think that maybe there's something about that's supposed to be intentional in here. Where we've been, how far we've come, shuffle till I'm there. Diminishing returns. Like there is this feeling of movement coming through, and even the title itself. The title is like what, master or like lead, like
Ikeru. I mean, I need to see the kanji that he's picked.
Right.
I meant like Ikeru is also like to plant a seed, or you know, like Ikeru can also be like Ikiru, which is like to live. You know, living things. Coincidentally, I was actually listening to an album called Ikiru, like over the last week as well, by the late Shina Mota, who sadly passed away at a very young age of like 20. Not a related album at all, but you know, that kind of Ikeru, that Ikiru, that rawness, you know, that kanji for like Iku, like is very similar to like you know, like raw, like nama.
Yeah.
So you have that, you know, raw denshi.
Yeah, indeed.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really dope, man. This is, you know, there's a lot of reasons to listen to music and a lot of reasons to go to shows, but for Midi Neutron, I fucking think that a live show would be so ill, and I wish that more cats like this came out to like Tokyo. We do have our lane for cats like this. Like you go to an Aaron Cholai show and you get the most incredible like jazz hip hop performances that you'll come across. But yeah, this one should be played aloud, and this one should be heard by people that are not just vibing to it in a fucking coffee shop. This one, it should like really the musicality is
dope. Like I think people who are into like some of this really dope Japanese stuff that's come out over the last decade are really going to enjoy this one. Like if you're a fan of like Ki, which is just like tree, if you're a fan of Crack Lax or fucking Aaron Shulai,
who else? Fucking what is the name? What is the name of the crew with Pigeon? The homie Pigeon Dust and my memory is so bad, but yeah.
You know, people, you're into that like live type shit, Zafido. You know, there's just like a lot of really, really cool stuff. You know, Big Yuki obviously collaborating with them here. I think there's this is like pretty fucking rich. And
also for the hip hop fans, I'm telling you,
for the
like
hip hop fans,
like
of
Peep,
course.
let me like Peep game to this flow from. Give it like 15 seconds to hear the styles. I mean, he's fucking incredible all over this damn thing, man. Figure it out, like.
Game got me energized, these other niggas did stay slithering. I'll be like Conan to these copperheads, fang extracting concentrates. consequence. I make the drop, they comprehend the quality is short. Got me quarreling with
Nakama is next, bro. I'm fucking yo. If like
also, shouts out to Yo. Like,
my bad.
Like,
Yeah.
you
You're
know,
right. You're right.
I want to
He's
show
dope, too.
mad love to Nakama because
Yeah.
Nakama's incredible and he really gets off on this record. But like, Yo goes crazy on this one too. Like, you know, the vocal contributions, like across the board, are really, really solid.
Yeah, they've got something going on over there with the likes of people that they're doing shows with. I just feel like from him and you know that biosphere of like a New York like artistry, also the touchstone with
Purple
Japan
Tape
is like,
Pedigree crew, like yeah.
It's yeah, this is somebody to watch out for. This is somebody to pay attention to. This is an album that you should listen to. Yeah. What do you got for your favorites on this one?
All of them.
Okay, bet.
We'll go with Some Days, Diminishing Returns, Shining Armor, Where We've Been.
I've got Some Days, Diminishing Returns, Shining Armor, and Where We've Been. I mean, it's great. I don't actually when I listen to this album,
Great across the board, yeah.
I mean, it's just such a dope breezy listen. You just throw it on and you're like, damn, it's done already. Like I didn't realize was that 20 tracks or was it, you know what I mean? What happened there? Yeah. So yeah, check this one out, man. Pay attention. Do the regular things that you do when you like somebody on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's stuff on the screen right now of some of our supporters. We really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think imagine that some people have taken themselves off the Patreon list for whatever reason, but yeah, you guys are written in heaven's unchangeable heart. I'm not removing any names from this. Pay once, you get on it forever. We appreciate you.
Hey,
Secret House.
Secret House.